What up, man? It's your big brother K-Rino here with y'all on this Sunday evening. A lot going on this weekend, so I wasn't able to catch y'all Friday or yesterday. So I'm here with y'all on a Sunday evening, and I won't be long, but I did have to come and sit with the family for a minute. You know, we I don't like to be away from the family too long, but we will get into it, man. If y'all see the title. But before we get going, let me ask y'all to click the thumbs up as you come in the room. Click the thumbs up as you come into the room. And if you're not already subscribed to the channel, subscribe to the channel now and turn your notifications on now. And let me say this, I know that notifications can get annoying at times. I know, because sometimes they annoy me when I'm always getting notified on YouTube and different other parts. It's like, man, because you try to connect and support so many platforms and people people you don't know, people that have content that you are in agreement with. And sometimes, those notifications get a little annoying. But sometimes you got to sacrifice something to get something. And if you feel like what we bring to the table, we being me and others who contribute to my mindset, if you feel like, or anybody, if it's something you feel like brings something valuable to your life, then, you sacrifice a few notification annoyances here and now. So turn on your notifications. And even though sometimes people who got their notifications on, they don't even get them, depending on certain pages and channels and all that. And, I don't know what goes into that, but everybody clearly doesn't get notified when anybody's online. Everybody don't get notified, not just me. But we gonna get it on, man. Y'all see the title. The title says America album update and attitude moving forward. Those are the three things we're gonna cover today. I may take a few questions. Normally I only do that in open topic, but first I'll not necessarily go in the order of the title. We'll cover America second, but I do want to talk about the album. My new album. I see a few new names in here, so y'all may not even know. You may not have even been around the last few weeks or months. My new album is called The Industry, and that's how we spell it. The End Us Tree, because it's a tree with branches on it that are designed to end us. And it's available now. It's available now for pre-order, and the CDs will start shipping this week. Hold on, let me put the site in for right. Yeah, but the product will be shipping this week. Physical copies, strong. So if you haven't already ordered, as I see my homie Short Bus say, I already ordered mine. Y'all need to get like Short Bus and order yours. I don't really want to go deep into the streaming conversation today. We're not going to do that today, but that's rooted in why I'm still pushing for my supporters to support physical copies. We'll get into that, and again, we always do. He always comes around. But yeah, the new album is available. So if you didn't know, now you know. And the sampler has been up for a little bit over a week now. So if you want to hear the sampler, it's on this very channel. Just in case you want to hear it. You might say, man, I ain't buying this album, just because it's you. I want to make sure I like it. So you can go check out the sampler and see if you like it. See if you like what you hear so far. How you back in the days. I see you, Steve. Steve Rio. He said, can my son Bentley get a shout out? What's up, Bentley? I see you, man. What's going on? Yeah, but I forgot what I was about to say. But yeah, but anyway, the new album is out. It's available for pre-order. I got a surprise coming this week. Um, Not nothing major. Don't get too happy. Don't get all happy. But basically, yeah, y'all can pre-order physical copies. Support physical copies, even if you don't have a CD player. If you don't listen to CDs no more, still purchase the album from the site. There's a site in the box, in the chat box, SouthParkCoalitionSite.net. We have other things on the site. Murder One projects, his catalogs on the site. Y'all support my brother Murder One. Um, the South Park Coalition album is on the site. See, I never got a chance to. Hold on, let me see. Let me see. I never got a chance to really push this album in terms of its availability on the website because the website was down. But don't sleep on this album. This is the South Park Coalition album with all of us on here pretty much. And we have, man, we got 19 tracks on this album. I didn't know that. I just learned that just now. 19 songs on this album. So this is available on the site as well, physical copies of the South Park Coalition album. Along with my new project. We'll have the books back up soon. So a lot of merch will be circulating. So y'all make sure y'all get the new album. This album is going to be very pivotal in terms of things that I'm talking about, which leads us into, as we get into the second A. It's a triple A topic tonight. I did it on purpose. Those of us who live in the United States of America, we are seeing drastic change in this country that we live in. And these changes are in a lot of cases the degree of them. While we've seen war, while we've seen economic problems, struggles, while we've seen disunity, while we've seen political turmoil, the magnitude of how we're seeing it now is something that we got to all be paying attention to. And if you are a person who believes in scripture, a person who follows and studies scripture and kind of keeps your eye on where we are in the books, and you got a little wisdom, whether you got it on your own or whether you got it from somebody else who had real wisdom like I did. I don't have no wisdom, but I draw from wise people. And I think that's a wise thing to do. Regardless of the situation, it would give you that understanding to know that the things that we're seeing in America, while we've seen them on different levels before, it's a little different this time. It's a little different. And we have to, oh, my bad. I meant to tell you about the album. We start shipping this coming week. But we have to get to a point where we start getting ready. We got to get ready spiritually, mentally, physically, material-wise. We got to get ready for this thing to go into deeper descent. And I won't try to go super deep because I'm not qualified to go super deep. But we have to get ready for this thing to go into deeper descent, meaning that if we are complaining about it now, if we're complaining about lines at the airport and the TSA lines at the airport being ridiculous, 3 hours to go through security and things of that nature, if we're complaining about gas prices, if we're complaining about food prices, all these things that we're seeing now, the one thing I want us to understand is that we are only in the baby stages of it. We're only in the baby stages of it. And going back to scripture, we've seen these things happen before, and then it kind of comes back up and it kind of goes away. But there will be a time where we'll see these things happen, and this time it won't go away. In fact, it'll get worse. And if this is that time, because again, I'm not qualified to say it is or it isn't, but I can say what I believe. I believe that we are in that time. Then we got to ask ourselves, as human beings, as people, and as people who are right here in America, which is referred to in scriptures in the scripture as Mystery Babylon, which is compared in the scriptures to ancient Egypt, Rome, Sodom and Gomorrah, all of the different places and empires in the scriptures that fell and were destroyed by the Creator. And if we understand where we are and where we're at, then we know that America makes all those places look like Disneyland. So I don't want us to get mentally detoured by the things that we still see on a daily basis that in our eyes represent normality. What do I mean by that? Because yeah, you still going to work. Yeah. Yeah, the basketball game is still coming on tonight. Yeah, still a party over here, a party over there. That's still happening. Still birthdays being celebrated, weddings being had. All these things are still happening. But those things are happening because the ratio has not changed places yet. Meaning that, as I said earlier, being in the baby stages of the decline and the fall of America, being in the baby stages, we can make the mistake and we can still see normality. And you got to live, but you also got to think. You got to think. And thinking, one of the best ways to think, in my opinion, is to do what is called forward thinking. That means you got to be having your mind fixated on what lies ahead, not so much what's right here in front of you or what you're standing in the midst of in that moment. Because the law of cause and effect is real. So if you say, well, man, gas prices are skyrocketing, that is an effect that is born from a cause. And we don't have to go into what the cause is. I think anybody with some sense should know. But for those who may not know, then you teach them that. Teach them the relation between, the gas prices and the oil, and teach them that. But we are functional. It's kind of like you driving a car and Every now and then you might hear a little clacking, but the car's still starting. Car's still taking you everywhere you need to go. Every now and then you might start the car, and instead of going, the car might go. So that's an indication that, okay, but hey, it started. Let's go. Little things happening here and there. Oh, we got a flat. Oh, I'll fix it. We got it together. Let's go. But eventually, those problems or particular problems that are going on with that car may be signs of a bigger problem that will eventually cause that car one day to not start or to just die on you when you're stranded way somewhere else across town. But the car gave you signs. The car told you in certain ways, hey man, I'm about to go out. This is what America is like. It's showing signs in certain ways that, hey, I'm about to go out. So as it would be with a car, a wise person may say, well, you know what, let me start trying to prepare to get another vehicle, to get out of this vehicle and into another one, a better one. That may mean selling the car while it still got some juice in it. It may mean stacking your chips and getting ready for another one. So when you stack your chips, I mean, I got to save up for another car. You're preparing to transfer into a different vehicle that will be better in terms of transporting you safely from point A to point B. That stacking up of chips, that preparation as it relates to where we are now comes in the form of not being foolish with your money, not being foolish with your movements, storing food in your home, talking to other people and preparing them and warning them, and not being blind to, oh, this is the United States of America. I've seen comments and conversations where people are blindly standing on their posts as it relates to America, like, man, this is America. What are you talking about? Nothing's gonna happen to America. This is the greatest nation in the world. We ain't worried about nothing that nobody else is doing, can do, will do, wants to do, will try to do. This is America. We are impenetrable. People think like that. There are people who are currently thinking like that. So the question I would ask to anybody who is thinking like that, or even if you are not thinking like that, the question would be, is that a wise way to think? Is that a wise way to think? It's like a bully who just been knocking people out left and right. Boom, boom, we just boom, just knocking people out every time. You just always see this guy just dominate. And you say, well, man, can't nobody whoop that dude. And then he starts to believe that nobody can whoop him. And then one day, somebody that you least expect, not even the biggest guy, not even the toughest guy, the bully picks on the wrong individual, and the bully is surprised at how monumental the L that they take is. And the people around are surprised because they never conceived in their mind that that could happen to that person. It's like an upset in sports. It's like, man, who could beat? Y'all remember when the Patriots went undefeated? They won all 16 games, all the playoff games, got all the way to the Super Bowl undefeated. They were just this powerhouse all year long, and they faced Eli Manning and the New York Giants in the Super Bowl. And it's like, oh, this is a perfect season. And we saw what happened. So the point is, if you let the arrogance of those on the top trickle down into your head and you adopt that same arrogant mind state as it relates to the invincibility of the United States of America, then you run the risk of getting caught out here, as we say, with your drawers around your ankles. With your drawers around your ankles. So there's a scripture in the book of Revelations. And I have to always say this when I start mentioning scriptures and God and the Bible and the Quran and all that. I am not a preacher. I am not a minister. I'm just a guy who likes to rap. But I also love God. I love people. I love peace. There's a scripture in the book that says, as it is relating and referring to this mystery Babylon that we talked about. And God is saying, come out of her, my people. He's putting the emphasis on my people, y'all, the people who y'all rocking with me, come out of her. So you won't be a partaker in her plagues and such and such. I'm paraphrasing. So you won't get caught up in the mix. It's like when you riding with somebody and some things start happening, whatever, and then the person you riding with got sense enough to say, man, this is getting crazy. Hey, man, whoever ride with me, y'all better come on because I'm getting ready to go. We've all heard that from somebody. Hey, man, if y'all ride with me, y'all better come on. That's basically what the God is saying. If you ride with me, leave this place, come with me, and let's go. And leaving doesn't always mean physically removing yourself from the landmass. Although, you could leave, but leaving represents a mindset. You are leaving a mindset. You are leaving a particular ideology. You're leaving the ways of this world and coming out of that, coming out of her, as America is styled as a woman, a whorish woman in the scripture. So come out of her is what that means. So you're thinking about coming out of the ways and coming out of, I would say part of that starts with coming out of the belief and the dependency that that America is going to get it together, that those in leadership will get it together, and they're gonna come through for us. where they never came through for us. They have a history of working only to come through for themselves at the expense of the people. That's just history. So the rich get richer is a term that you always hear. The rich get richer. Even in harsh economic times for the people. So you look at, man, families struggling to make it. TSA workers, people at the airport, they quitting. They would rather not have a job than be working on a job and not getting paid. The farmers, they're struggling. Farmers going through it. How does that affect me and you? I shouldn't have to say it. We know what farmers do, don't we? We know what farmers produce. We know the necessity, the item that is an absolute necessity to sustain your and my life. We know that the farmers have a direct hand on that, but they're going through it. And we won't go into the reasons why. If you know, I mean, y'all should know. But when you get to the point where you just are not seeing that the house is collapsing. You ever lived in a raggedy house or raggedy apartment? Raise your hand if you have. And it's always something. It's like, oh man, it's a big crack in the wall in the room. Uh-oh, that's foundation. Oh man, what's them little mold, them little spots, them little spores on the little greenish, blackish spores on up on the thing in the bathroom? That's mold. Oh man, what's going on outside, man? The roof, the shingles and stuff is peeling. So you're in this place that every time you look up, it's something falling apart, something going wrong. Yet we stay in the house either out of necessity, out of ignorance, out of delusion. But nevertheless, we stand in the house. Are we just being cheap? Hey, man, I ain't spending no more money. If I move to a better place, it may cost me a little more. There may be more that I have to give up and sacrifice. And that's the principle. We would rather stay in this pit that we're in now because we don't want to make the sacrifice to do the things that it would take to get away. So we just take our chances. The government gonna work it out. When I talked about how it's a little different this time, because I can, and y'all can too, I can remember a time where, and I ain't talking like that was 80 years ago, but we've gone from maybe dealing with one major issue at a time, maybe 1.5 to 2 little situations at a time, to where now we like that house. Oh man, the plumbing is messed up now. The pipe busted, and all kind of stuff going on in the house. That's where we at. So the moral of the story is that if you have been doing what I'm getting ready to say, we got to stop doing it. We have to stop having faith in and believing in a system that is in full free fall and collapse. It's collapsing. It's over. We have to be the ones to lean on God to save us and to save ourselves. No way around it. No election is going to do it. And this is a conversation that is near and dear to me because as a black man, it's a conversation that a lot of black people have. I can't speak for any other races of people, but for black people, we have long time ago developed a trust and a false trust in dependency on uh, political parties, particular political parties, whether it be Republican, Democrat. We will argue with each other about which is better for us, which has been worse for us, which has done the most for us, which has done the least for us. And the reality is our condition as a whole has not vastly improved under either. We can point to certain things. Well, this happened under the Republican umbrella. This happened under the Democratic umbrella. This was this. In the beginning, we were Republicans during the time of Abraham Lincoln. We were, and we can go into all that. All these different laws were passed under. We can go all that. But on a whole, we are still far away from where we could be, or possibly, dare I say, should be. That's why when I made the album, shout out to my homie Big Pup, when I made the album A Long Short Way, that's what that was all about. People say, what did that title mean? And the background showed different periods in Black history. It showed us being oppressed, and it showed us marching on Washington. It showed us the Million Man March, showed us in shackles as slaves. It showed all different points throughout the history of our time in America. And the title was the acknowledgement that progress has been made. We've come a long way, but it's a long, short way, because from where we were to where we've come, in my humble opinion, does not equal to how far we still have to go because of a lot of things that we still have not done. So we've come a long, short way. And part of that is because, and this applies to everybody, is because I believe that we have been deceived by the political machine that tricks us into falling for the same banana in the tailpipe every 4 years. And it takes away a lot of our willingness to do for self and to depend on self and each other. Because there are people right now, y'all, who they see everything that's going on in this country, but they are not as shook up by it as most Americans are, because they have made preparation to some degree. And I said this before, people used to laugh at the doomsday preppers. Y'all know what the doomsday preppers are. Just give me a shout out, give me a thumbs up or 100 or something. You know what that is. I'm sure y'all do. But people used to laugh at the doomsday preppers, the people who 15, 20, 30, 40 years ago were already storing food and supplies and in some cases ammunition in their homes for a time where the system would totally collapse, and these things that are readily available to us now would no longer be readily available, such as going to the grocery store, going to Burger King. Let me just stop in Wendy's and grab me a, see? We don't think about a time where this stuff will not be available, where these things will not exist, where these things will not be on the table. We just don't think like that. And part of it is because we are not tuned in to the time and what must be done, as the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan teaches. But part of it is just because we just cannot wrap our minds around or fathom something that we have never had to experience. There's never been in our lifetime famine in America, but it's coming. There's only been one other time throughout history that I can think of. If somebody's more versed in the history than I am, I'll submit to your knowledge. But there's only been one other time that I can think of in America in the modern time where the economic collapse impacted the nation to a breakable degree, and that was the Great Depression. But what's getting ready to hit America could possibly be viewed as the Greater Depression or the economic nail in the coffin. Depends on how you want to look at it. Because every move that is made, connects to other aspects of the system. So when one thing is done, if that one thing is big enough, it affects all of the other parts. It's like the human body. That could be one thing that happens in the human body that, okay, well, this went bad, so now it's affecting this, okay? And by it affecting that, now that can't do what it needs to do in order to do this. And it, welcome to America. But I know y'all probably bored with this type of stuff. But I feel an obligation not just to rap about it, but to talk about it in the way that I talk about it. So at least we talked about it. But let me go into these comments and see what y'all got to say. Shout out to MC Josiah. I appreciate the love and the donation as usual. My homie, I appreciate that. I see you doing your thing. Okay, you getting ready to get down right now on the open mic. Okay. A lot of album work myself. I know that's right. Keep working. Keep pushing, man. Let's keep working for self. Yeah. Y'all hit the like button if you haven't already, man. I know y'all don't like to hear about stuff like this, man. I don't like to talk about stuff like this. But it is where it is. Lou Hybrid, send me an email, Lou. Email me when we jump off. We'll discuss that. Asiatic Rule, I see you. Jeremiah Sanson, I see you. A lot of new names that I'm not used to seeing or haven't seen. I appreciate y'all coming through. I hope y'all are regulars. Now the last A. Hold on, let me read some of y'all comments before I get to this last A. Yeah. Ray says, finally a live stream when I'm awake. That's what's up. Lou Blue, I see you. Precise Works, I see you. Precise Works say sometimes you don't even get your notification. Yeah, man, it happens to everybody. I'm not gonna act like it's a conspiracy against me, but it happens to everybody. Yep. Abel Perez, you can get all the albums that are showing on the site. We'll have some more going up. Yeah. Is that AC Shakora? Yes, I do run my Facebook page. I have 3. All right. Appreciate the love, Precise Works. Matt Greer says, stop playing with our emotions. What I do? What I did, Matt? The albums are shipping next week, y'all. Shout out to everybody who pre-ordered. If you haven't, go pre-order the album now. Right now. Blunt Factory is in the building, one of my longtime OGs. I'm looking for some comments that are related to what we just got through talking about. Double D says they are pushing for end times, which I don't agree with, but that's just me. Well, the end times are written. It's written. So unless we do something to avert it, it's gonna happen. Yeah. No president is gonna save us, man. Wise brother said artificial existence, time to get prepared. Yes, indeed. L Dogs in the building. Vincent Price, would you ever collaborate with Paris or Gorilla Phone? Absolutely. Derek J2, what's going on? Drifter, what's going on? Vincent Price, the great Vincent Price. Okay, we'll get more into attitude moving forward. We have to lose, as I said earlier, the dependency on this system, man. We sitting on pins and needles hoping that the people who put us in the situation are going to get us out. That's just not a logical way to think. This is not watching a basketball game. This ain't like watching a basketball game where, oh man, I hope Michael Jordan make the shot. And Mike might make the shot because that's what he do. But if your favorite player misses the shot, if your team's kicker misses the field goal, if your favorite player strikes out and the season is over, that's just sport and play. In real life, the stakes are much higher. They are of the highest of stakes. It's like eating at Maestro's. The stakes are so high. So we have to take the attitude that if we don't do it, it ain't gonna get done. But you have to prepare yourself and prepare your family for a time where the normal things are not in your reach. But we also have to, when we talk about attitude moving forward, we have to be God-centered in our thinking. He's the only person that's going to get us out of this. If we give up on God, then we've basically given up on life. That's simple. That's simple. And the reason why I'm saying this, because some of y'all I don't give up on God, but it may not be you. And there are people who, like I said earlier, we depend too much. We look at, like I said, like watching your favorite player take the last shot. We look at it like, come on, Mr. Politician. Come on, Mr. Politician. Nah, you rolling the dice with an unrighteous system. Rolling the dice, hoping and pleading and begging and depending on a system that's structured to only benefit themselves. And we listen to the words, but ignore the actions. And we are so, I hate to use the word programmed, but that's the best word. We are so programmed to repeat the process, repeat the cycle. We keep doing it over and over and over and over and over and over again. So we got to change our attitude. We got to change our mindset. We have to destroy the dependence of governments that have agendas, and those agendas don't include the benefit of the citizens. There's no benefit for you included in the agenda. So politicians have said for decades, when I get in office, I'm going to lower taxes. No new taxes. They get right in and what they do, they raise taxes. When I get in office, we pulling out of that region. We're taking everybody out. Nope. Stayed in there. Not starting no more wars. Starting more wars. So history has shown us that for the most part, they're going to do the opposite of whatever you want to know what a politician is not gonna do? Just listen to what they say they're gonna do. And if you want to know what a politician is gonna do, just pay attention to what they say they're not gonna do. Because for the most part, that's how it usually goes. So our mind got to be on God's agenda and his layout, his plan for our exodus. Because anything else would be uncivilized and nothing else is going to work. Nothing else is going to work. But we cannot underestimate the greatness of Satan's ability to talk us into believing the same lie over and over again. I know that. I know, man. I know y'all don't like this. I know. Lindsay Hobson, I see you. Under the holy order, I see you. A font 40 or a font 40, I see you. The attitude is, don't be scared. Don't be scared. I know that's easy for people to tell you, don't fear it. And look, if you stand with God, you ain't gonna be scared. You get prepared, you ain't scared. Stephen Cox, what's going on? Shout out to my new people, man. I'm seeing that. That's Connie. I gotta represent for my OGs too. Connie Hodge is in the building. Want to show love to a lot of the new names. I'm seeing new names. I guess it's the time of day. I'm not usually here on a Sunday at this time, so it gives more people the ability to be around when they may not be around on the Friday late nights or whatever. So I appreciate y'all, Caleb Edwards and everybody. But since all y'all new people are here, y'all go get my new album. Don't be coming in here talking about, man, I love your music. Don't be coming here talking about, I love your music, man. I've been listening to you since 1961. But you ain't up on the music. So there's the site. Go to SouthParkCoalitionSite.net. It's over in the chat box. I just put it in. And go pre-order the new album, The Industry. Go get the South Park Coalition album. Yeah. Appreciate the love. What up, Roderick? 2722. Okay. Well, this is what I'll do, man. You know, we'll bust this down to a quick open topic. If y'all got any questions that y'all want to ask me, we'll get it in real quick because I ain't gonna hold y'all too long. Yeah. Back Porch says life been super eventful over the last week. I'm super grateful to be alive and catch a moment on K's. I'm glad to be alive and catch a moment on y'all's time, man. This is our time. Appreciate it. Roderick says this wicked system has to fall. It's falling. We are in the fall. We are in the midst of the fall right now. OT Sinks. Walaikum salam. I hope you had a blessed Ramadan. OT. Eid Mubarak. Ren says people not giving up on the creator. They gave up on their God. Well, for a lot of people, governments and politicians and presidents have become their God. So if that's the case, we would hope they would give up on that God. Why not, says Golden Rule can move all mountains. Absolutely. Justine Rowe, I'm doing well. Blessed. Roderick say, I pre-ordered mine already. What y'all waiting on? I added to what y'all waiting on part of it. Roderick says your song, What's About to Happen, is starting to play out today. You made it years ago. Well, I made it when I heard the teachings of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad and the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. I spoke their words. Those were not my words. I didn't rap my words. I received no magical messages from God. I received messages and teachings from God's messenger and God's messengers appointed man in his seat. Minister Farrakhan had to figure out how to phrase that. So the things that we've seen the Honorable Elijah Muhammad and Minister Farrakhan talking about literally for decades, at some point they had to come to pass. They're now coming to pass. If you believe in those men, and I don't mean believing in them in terms of worshiping them as a God, I believe those men being from God, sent by God, fashioned by God. If you believe on what those men were teaching that was from God, that is from God, then I don't have any problems or hesitation writing and rapping about it because I believe it. So people will say, man, you made that song years ago. Shh. Yeah, that's because the Honorable Elijah Muhammad and Minister Farrakhan said those things years ago. I took them at their word. So we gonna give the credit where it belongs. I ain't nobody. All praise is due to Allah for what He revealed to them. We coming, y'all. Y'all got any questions, quick questions or whatever? Rick Ruiz, what's going on? Rick says you must get comfortable being uncomfortable. You get comfortable being uncomfortable until being uncomfortable becomes comfortable. Great statement. Burrell Suzuki. What's going on, Burrell? Like I said, I'm seeing a lot of new people, man. I need to start coming on here on Sundays more often, huh? If y'all just coming in, click the thumbs up. I'm not gonna push for 100 likes tonight because I ain't gonna hold y'all long. Rick says if you're scared, you have no faith in God. Absolutely. Phantom Face, another OG. OG salute the Phantom Face final. One of the real ones. Phantom Face said greed will be the end of humanity. It may not be the end of humanity because humanity will always exist, but it would be the end of a certain, it would be the end of humans or parts of humanity who have that spirit. We'll move on, we'll live on, but a cleansing is going to have to take place. Connie said, nevertheless, it must be addressed, so do what you must. No question. All right. God is your only friend. Ah. Hold on, Dollar Bill in here? Hold on, where's Dollar Bill at? Where's young Dollar Wop? Hold on. I seen Phantom Face shout out Dollar Bill. I don't see the Dollar Wop, man. Ren says, what up, Birmingham? Mosque number 69. Shout out to Mosque number 69 in Birmingham, Alabama. How long have there been a mosque in Birmingham, Ren? Drifter says I came over from Killer Priest streams a while back when he mentioned you. Oh man, shout out to Killer Priest, Mr. Heavy Mental. that song, that song would never get old. If I ever meet Killer Priest, I want to ask him a question that I'm sure he probably has been asked 8,261 times. I want to be 8,262. It's like, what state of being were you in? What mind frame were you in when you put that song together? Because he wasn't on an earthly plane when he wrote that. I don't care what nobody say. He was when Killer Priest wrote Heavy Metal, he was out there somewhere. He was gone. He was not human. he, was human. He might have came back to being a human like, oh, what just happened? Then he looked at the paper like, yeah, man. Take a few more, man. We got to at least get to past 70 likes, y'all. We got to at least get past. Evil Miro, what's going on, man? Another new name, man. I'm seeing all these people I'm not familiar with, man. Y'all welcome, man. Welcome. Don't be a stranger. Don't be a stranger. Don't be disrespectful, Lou. We grown now. We got to go to open topic rules. Open topic rules are maturity and respect. That's the rules in here, maturity and respect, because we all grown. I would assume we grown. So we don't want to go into a mode how we would be if we was in the classroom in the 5th grade. Because we have families, we have bills that we pay. You know, you got bills, families, children, responsibilities, life, jobs. You're grown. So we're not going to be like immature children, especially in these times. Let's grow up, y'all. Let's be grown. Let's be grown men and women. Best local agent is in the building. I see best local agent in the building. Your life is only ruined if you submit to that premise. As long as you have, I seen an optical illusion, it messed me up. As long as you have a life, you have a chance. What did Sam Cooke say in the song? He said, where there's life, there's hope. Now, if you give up hope, then you could possibly be right. You could possibly be on the descent to your life being ruined, but that is all a state of mind. It's a mindset. So when I said attitude moving forward in the title of this topic, what's the saying that they say? They say attitude determines what? Let's see if y'all know that one. Attitude determines what? I'm gonna let y'all say it. Then I'll move forward. Close, but no cigar. But you actually right, Roderick, but that's not the exact saying. Bubba Seeds, you right. Matt, y'all are right. But y'all must have never heard that statement before. I'll put it on there. Attitude determines altitude. So how high you go in life is based on the mentality that you have. Your attitude determines your altitude. So if you think, well, I ain't nothing, oh man, I'm just saying, then you will stay on a low altitude. You will stay low. You will stay down. Your frequency is low. But with a positive thought and positive attitudes and positive mindsets, even in the worst times, you can reverse it and start the upward ascension. So Jesus said in the scripture, he said, as a man thinketh in his heart, so is he. So basically saying that if you think you a worthless bum that ain't gonna never be nothing in life, then that's so is he. That's what you'll be. But I know people who even at their lowest, they carry themselves in a way like, hey man, I'm great. I'm a king. I'm gonna get out of this. Because everything, every aspect of life is shaped by thought. Everything that you see around you, any tangible entity that you see began in somebody's mind. So somebody had to have the belief that whatever it is I'm thinking in my head, I can bring it into a physical reality. You think it ain't no rich? See, every person that's rich, and I'm just using money and wealth as an example. I'm not saying it's the end all be all, but every person who is rich, everybody that's rich is not rich as a result of inheritance, as a result of uh, nepotism. Some people got it out the mud. So if you got it out the mud, then obviously that was the time you was in the mud. So what is my thought process when I'm at my lowest? How do I think about myself and my condition and my future when I'm at my lowest? That's the testament of a real man or a real woman. You don't just say, yep, I guess this is my life now. You say, man, I gotta figure this out. I don't like being in this situation. I have to I got to fix this. And you might not have any resources in that moment to do it. You may not even have a plan in place to do it in that moment, but in your mind, you like, I don't know how I'm gonna do it, but by golly gee whiz, I'm gonna do it. That's how you get out of it. If you succumb to the negative, then we'll see you when we see you. That's Dollar Bill. I see him. Dollar says, well, some people must be fronting if that's the case, because their attitude should have kept them grounded. See, but actually, their attitude in a lot of cases did keep them grounded. The attitude was so bad that it prevented them, it blocked them, it closed doors that may have been open for them had they had a better attitude. So the altitude, see, altitude does not mean extreme heights. That's not the definition of altitude, because you can fly at low altitude or you can fly at high altitude. So the attitude determines your altitude. Okay, it could determine that you're gonna be flying at a low altitude. So the type of attitude that you have determines that. But yeah, you're right. Some people ground themselves, or some people have a false sense of themselves. See, confidence and false sense of self are not the same. It's two different things. I can have confidence. I can have full confidence in myself, but I have also the sense to know I ain't there yet. I got a lot of work to do. I believe in me. I believe I'm gonna get there, but right now I'm flat right now. But other people who like, dude, you talking like you are just over the moon, and nothing that I see in your life reflects that. Nothing that I see in your ways reflect that. All right, we'll take a few more. Matthew the biblical says, no pot to piss in. Yeah. We can't underestimate the power of the mind, bro. For the good or the bad. Yeah. Matthew said they had that ratitude. Ratitude and no gratitude. And still had a bad attitude. Rick Ruiz says bad attitude negates motivation, keeps you in a fallen state. Burrell says, do we have to pre-order the digital version? No. The digital, everything goes up. The digital version will be available this Friday. You'll be able to get the digital on all platforms this Friday. Friday coming up, which is Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, basically 5 days from now. Yep. The album drops on all the platforms. The album drops on all of the streaming platforms that don't pay us this Friday. But I would still encourage everyone who's going to get it digital, because I'm not going to discourage you from getting it like that. I would still encourage you to support the physical copies as well. And you can do that at southparkcoalitionsite.net. You can get the physical copies as well. Keep the physicals alive, man. I just placed another website right under that one that says Martial Arts with a Z, Productions with a Z .space. That's where you can order the new comic book, The Annihilation of the Evil Machine. Because especially with a lot of the new people that are in here right now, y'all probably didn't even know that we just dropped a new comic book. Or if we had a comic book at all, y'all might have not knew about the first one. But we doing more than just rap stuff over here, even though it's all tied into the rap stuff. But go to that site and go and get the comic book. Yeah. And I'm always shamelessly promote. People always ask me all the time, and let me say this, I appreciate these kind of people. Before I say what I'm getting ready to say, I have to make sure that I say that the type of people I'm getting ready to mention, I love y'all. I really appreciate y'all, because that's one of the realest things you can ask me, what I'm getting ready to tell y'all. And that is people, when people say, hey man, how can I support you in a way that you're gonna benefit from it? When people ask me that, I'm like, man, you know what? I really appreciate you asking me that. Because they have a sense of understanding on kind of how this thing works. And people would ask me that long before streaming came out. They would say, man, how can I support you to where you gonna make the money? And if I was talking to them face to face, I would say, well, look, well, man, hey, we got these units, we sell them for $10. We were slanging. But now we say, look, man, go to the website and order a physical copy. Go purchase a CD. Go purchase a comic book. Go purchase a T-shirt. Whatever we got going on. Because we appreciate y'all listening to it on YouTube and all that, but y'all know. Lou Hybrid, you already in hell. You ain't know that? You ain't going nowhere else. And just say if it was a hell, like you may think that, the way they describe it, you would be happy you would be missing how you got it right now. We already in hell. What my man on the Twilight Zone said, when the guy had died, he got killed, and things wasn't going right for him in the heaven that he thought he was in, he was like, man, you know what, man? Just send me to the other place. And the man looked at him and started laughing. He say, this is the other place. Like, you already in hell, dude. So, you know, this is what it is, Lou. This is what it is. But shout out to the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, the Honorable Mr. Louis Farrakhan, and shout out to my brother Nuri Muhammad, who I used on the song. I used his voice on a song I made called Heaven and Hell. Heaven and hell are only conditions. You can bring yourself out of a hellish condition. You're saying you want to go to hell because you feel like you're already in a hell. You're in a hellish condition. You can bring yourself out of that with the right what? Everybody say it with me. With the right attitude. God is your only friend. Best local agent, I appreciate the donation. Say new comic book was perfectly delivered. Shout out to Dollar Bill, man, for that. He gets all the credit on that. Dollar Bill doing this thing, man, making sure it was quality. I can't take no credit for that. Dollar Bill, man. Two-hand salute to young Dollar Wop. Best Local says, I need a CD player. I don't have one. You don't need to get one. Look, let me give y'all some lightweight game. Purchase the album, purchase the CD, and then just listen to it the way you normally listen. You ain't gotta open it. You don't even have to open it. That's your show of support. Purchase the CD. Matter of fact, you open it. Go on and open it. Because you can look at the inside, read the credits, you can actually see the CD and all that. So yeah, but you don't have to try to figure out a way to go play it nowhere. Play it how you normally play it. Get the digital version. Take the CD, convert it however you can listen to it, and then put the CD back up. Well, you ain't got a CD player, so you can't do that. But yeah, listen to it on YouTube. I ain't mad at you for listening to it on YouTube once you purchase it. I ain't mad at you if you don't, but see, we can change the game if those who really, really, really rock with you, if they really, really support it in that manner. I don't just do this for me. Yeah. Oh, good. Wise brother says, in a physical heaven, full athletic ability. LeBeau, what's going on? LeBeau says, hit the like button on the way in. LeBeau is my security. He that security that's at the door. When you try to come into the club, it's like he gonna pat you down. He's gonna take the little metal detector, gonna make sure you do everything right. Yeah, that's LeBeau. LeBeau is the bouncer. Don't cause no problems. Lou Hybrid says, I wish I could restart my life. You can. You ain't got to be a baby. You ain't got to reverse all the way back to the womb, bro. You see, you giving up. I'm scared to ask you how old you is, because if you're under 40, I'm going to go off on you. Giving up this early. You can restart your life. Just start. Drifter says, love me a good comic. Well, if you love a good comic, go to their website and order the comic book. Yeah. All right, let me check a few more, man, before I let y'all go. To the bang bang boogie. Ren says, do you have a package set with all your albums? Nah, man. That's the dream and the goal one day, but I got. Whew, that'll be hard. Now I can give you a price if you wanted to order all of them. I thought you meant like a whole like box that all albums come in. So my bad. But yeah, if you just wanted the price to order everything, I could work that out for you. As many as I have. A lot of them I don't even have in stock. But send me an email and we'll work it out. We'll work it out. Yeah. All right. All right, man. Y'all drop y'all locations, man. Let me shout y'all out. Drop your locations. Let me shout y'all out. And we're gonna get it on, man. I got number love for y'all. But it's time to eat. Did you ever tell me, brother, how long Moss number 69 been around? Let me go back and see if you answered that. It's just out of curiosity. Ain't no particular reason. Cause when I was in Birmingham, I've been out there a couple of times. I don't remember hearing about a mosque. So if a new mosque popped up, that's like beautiful. Or if I was just dumb and sleeping the whole time and it been there, it's still beautiful. Yeah, I'm looking for it now. Lindsay Hobson says Shaitan will be destroyed. No doubt about it. All right. Lou Hybrid is in Erie, Pennsylvania. Harry Taylor. What's up, Harry? East side of H-Town. What up, Harry? What up, HT? Too Real for Most is in the city of Compton. Righteous by Nature is in the Oakland, California. Mr. Jack, what's going on? Rick Ruiz is in Japan. Matthew the Biblical, St. Paul, Minnesota. Evil Miro is in Tucson, Arizona. Drifter is in England. Man, that's what's up. Says big up to the whole chat room. Phantom Face Final, the OG, is in Columbus, Ohio, the 614. If you know, you know. Yeah, okay. Roderick is in the SWAT. Hey, man, all my H-Town people real quick, y'all hit me up. Send me an email. I want to holler at y'all about something real quick. Mr. Jack, Southwest H-Town. Yeah, all my H-Town people, send me an email real quick. Okay, the 60s, my bad. Okay, Ren, man, see, y'all was sleeping because I was out there in 93. I was out there again in the 2000s, mid 2000s. Man. Best local agent is in Worcester, Massachusetts. Marlboro Police. What are they doing? Property rights violation. Brittany Burgess in Middle Tennessee. We all over the country. We all over the nation and all over the world, man. Shout out Brittany. Don't be no stranger. Why not East Little Rock? Connie sending prayers to Lou Hybrid. Under the Holy Border is in Philly. Told you, man, we East Coast, West Coast. We from Compton to Philly, all the way down south to Houston, and all stops in between, Midwest, and all over the world, man. MKX Hooks, I see you. Yeah. Burrell said, Face told you that you were one of the greatest. And when he told me that, you know what I told him? I say, you are the greatest. Connie Hodge in the 619, San Diego, California. LeBeau is in Perth. That's Australia, huh? No doubt about it. West Australia, yep. My dumb self, I almost said Washington. Of course, it's okay for white people to practice Islam. Islam is peace and submission to do the will of God. God wants that for everybody. Hold on, y'all. I'm still doing these shout outs. Martial arts. Dollar Bill says, did anybody catch the Easter egg in the new comic book? Did y'all catch it? They ain't catch it. They ain't catch it. Let me see. We need to put that in the group, in the 24/7 group. Pose that question and see if anybody caught it. What's up, Tim? Out there in Colorado, man. One of my favorite places to be, Denver, Colorado. And my homie Tim always coming out showing love. L Dogs is in Switzerland. The Lyrical Connoisseur. Bassini Choice is in New Zealand. Man, why not? Born and raised in Houston. Come on, man. Send me an email, why not? I just sent my email down. All my H-Town people shoot me an email. All right, man. The super rapper Cape Ripper. That's right. All right, man. One love to all of y'all, man. I appreciate y'all's time on this Sunday. I wasn't able to get to y'all. Hold on, Miss Lady Sapper come flying in at the last second. What's up, Queen? Another OG in the building. We got you. We got you. All right, y'all. I'll catch y'all later on. Peace.